Hello again, YouTube. So if you watch my Facebook account for this channel, you'll see that I made a video. Let's see, today's Wednesday, so I made a video Monday. I just woke up like 5 minutes ago, and it's like 2:30 p.m. But who cares? I made a video like 2 days ago, and it was okay, but I've had one kind of major thing happen since that video came out. So, or not came out, but made it. So, we'll get the thing that changed from that last video. We'll do that last. So, basically the main thing with the other video was I've got my parts for my car. I'm going to be doing the brakes and rotors in the front and the back. The rear brakes are not drum brakes. They are disc brakes. I did find that out by looking at them. Holy shit, I know, right? And so I did that, and what else? There's a big ass box downstairs. I don't think I'm going to show you the brakes and rotors. You can look at brakes and rotors on Google if you really want to. But basically, there's a big ass box downstairs, and there's 2 sets of rotors and 2 sets of brake pads for the front rotors and 2 sets of rotors. Or no, wait. There's 2 sets of rotors. The one set is for the front, and the other set is for the back. There's 2 sets of brake pads. One's to the front, one's to the back. And then there's 2 front wheel hubs and or bearings. And what those do is you put those in, and they hold the wheel onto the car. Because what it does is you take the tire off the car, and then you get your rotor and brake, and then you take your brake off and your caliper for that, and then you take your rotor off, and then you take, and then there's your wheel hub right there. And some cars are different. Sometimes you just have to take this big ass bolt out, and then you knock it free from the axle, and that's it. That's what mine is. Some of them, the wheel bearing and wheel hub are different. I don't know. There's more steps to it. But, yeah. You unplug the ABS plug from it. Whatever. So, that's what I'm going to be doing in my car. I'm not sure if I'm still going to be doing the cold air intake. I might. If I can find the right size for it, I'll do it myself. But if I can't, then fuck it. I still want to do the radio, but at this point in time, I might be getting rid of the car if I can save enough money. I'm thinking of the other stuff that's happened since yesterday. I'm like, oh god, I gotta wait till last to tell them that. So, or 2 days ago, I mean. What else? I still do want to get the radio done though. But, so I went to Pet Boys about a week ago. It was like the day after the last video that I made and put on YouTube. So this is kind of where we start picking up. They gave me another list of shit to do to the car. They wanted me to do a serpentine belt, which is rather important. It was cracked, so I had that done. It was rather cheap. It was like $60. It was like the cheapest thing on the list. And then they're saying, well, the fuel filter was rusted. It's not bad. You don't have to do it now, but it's rusted. I was like, well, that's the second cheapest thing on the list, but I'm not going to do it today. And what else? Oh, the power steering leak. It is a hose, and to replace it, they have to take the hose out, of course, flush the power steering fluid out, and then put a new hose in, and then put new power steering in. That's kind of expensive. And then they said my rack and pinion, I think it's how you say the pinion, is worn. That's the biggest ticket item. It's like $700 something. So that, yeah, that's about it. They want to do all that, and I think before we did the serpentine belt, it was gonna be like $1,500. But we did the serpentine belt, so it's like $1,400. If we take the fuel filter off, it'll be like $1,300. But that car is not worth doing the everything to it. So, okay, moving on from that to our next thing that happened. When did they call me? It wasn't Regal. I gotta tell you about that too at Regal too. Hold on. What's today? The 10th. Okay, so that happened Monday, so that was in the video, but I still didn't tell you about it. Dave & Buster's, which is a place that is, if you're not familiar with it, it's like a big-ass arcade with a bunch of games, and there's a winner's circle, and there's a bar and grill in there, and there's a bowling alley, and there's a billiard room, and there's a bar. Well, I already said bar and grill, but whatever. And there's this, and there's that, and it's fucking crazy, and loud, and yada, yada, yada. So, anyway, today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday, of course. They called me Monday morning, which prompted me to get off my ass and out of bed. The chick that's hiring called me and said, "Hey, is this Brandon?" And now, keep in mind, I recently changed my voicemail on my cell phone. And it basically says, "Hey, this is Brandon. Sorry I missed your call. I'll get back to you when I can. If you have a computer repair or a game console repair, please leave your name and number, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Bye." So, she calls me. I didn't recognize the phone number, and they called me at like 11. And for me, that's normal time to get up. Today is 2:30. That's kind of late. But anyway, so I need to sit down or something. I need to stop walking around. Anyway, so she calls me about 11, leaves a voicemail, and says, "Hey, this is April from Dave & Buster's. Was just calling on your application because I've been putting in for a second job here recently, like a lot. In time of that manager position, because I don't know when that's going to happen. But that's another thing I need to get on to later in the video. You know, it's 7 minutes long, but goddamn. So she says, "Well, I want to call you and schedule an interview." Yada yada yada. So I call her back, and I get the front desk and say, "Oh yeah, she's in the back." I get her and I said, "Hey, this is Brandon. I think you just called me like maybe 2 minutes ago about having an application and want me to come in for an interview." She's like, "Yeah, Brandon Prosser." I was like, "Yeah, that's me." And she's like, "Okay, well, I noticed you put in for the winner's circle, which is the prize part of Dave & Buster's, the little thing for the prizes." And she's like, "Well, I noticed you put in for winner's circle, and I want you to come in for an interview for that. But then I listened to your voicemail, and you got a little hair on your face there. I noticed you have on your voicemail about computer and console repair. Tell me a little bit more about that." And I was like, "Oh Lord." I said, "Well, I do. It's kind of on the side right now. That's kind of what I'm wanting to do as a profession, unless something else works out besides that." And she was like, "Well, what do you do?" I said, "Well, mainly computer repairs, like laptops, desktops, and all that stuff. Not really monitors, but I could do it. Game consoles, somewhat. Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I pretty much replace everything on there." And she was like, "Well, what would you think about working at Dave & Buster's as a game technician?" And I said, "Well, I don't really know too much about circuit boards, but I guess I can learn. It can't be too much different." she's like, well, let me put you in here and change your thing from winner circle to game technician. I was like, okay. And she was like, well, can you come in Thursday, which is tomorrow, of course. You come in Thursday at anywhere between 1 and 6. I said, okay, well, I work from 10 to 5, but I'll try to get in there and tell them to let me off at that time, in between 5 and, or tell them to let me off at 5. She's like, well, I'll tell Greg, or whatever the hell his name was, I don't even remember what his name was, that he should expect you in here at 5:30 or earlier. And, okay, well, thanks. And Thursday I'm going in there for an interview. So yeah. So moving on from that, and this is what I found. I probably should have told this part first about Regal, because it happened before. I found out, and I'm not really supposed to tell anybody that works at Regal, but I found out, how many days ago was that? That was, I think that was Sunday. I think that was like the day or two before I made made the video that wasn't going to be on here. One of the other managers is leaving, and she's only part-time, but she's a manager. So, yeah. So that could be good. If she leaves and they say, oh, well, you can hire another part-time. Cool, because we've already lost a full-time and a part-time in the midst of this. She didn't put in for 2 weeks. I did find this out last night. She didn't put in for 2 weeks. She's leaving on October 3rd. So, that. Our GM finally came back last night. Off of vacation. Our scheduling manager doesn't come in back for another, I don't know, couple days. So, but the reason why I'm freaking out about that is because if I get a job over at David Buster's, I don't know who the fuck's taking care of the schedule right now, because he's pretty much, at least for mine, he's taking copy and pasted it for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. And it's been about a week and a half or so. So yeah, that's happened. The manager position has happened. And the other thing that happened since the last video, I think this was Monday night after I made the video. Yeah, it was. The Destiny pre-order. I canceled it. I canceled it Sunday night. So I canceled it because I was like, well, I don't really want the game. I played the beta. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was okay, but I was like, well, I like GTA 5 too much to get another game, be like, okay, well, fuck. So, I canceled it, and I put the pre-order into GTA 5 for the PC. Because I was going to go and put the pre-order for Destiny on the PC, but they don't have it on the PC. So, I was like, okay, well, let me do GTA 5 for the PC. And they were like, okay, well, we're taking pre-orders. We don't really know when the game is coming out, but here you go. And it was like $25 down. So, I'm like, whatever. So, I did that. So I go in there Monday night. I said, hey, I want to cancel my GTA 5 pre-order because I got this bright-ass idea in my head. My Wii is gone. I think I've said that in the last video. I sold my Wii. So I took all my Wii games, my Wiimote, and my Wii wheel, I guess you'd say. It's not the legit one. It's like a Monster Jam one. But I took all those in there and all the games. And I said, hey, I want to trade all of these in. And whatever. They're like, okay, well, it's $76. We can't take the Wiimote because there's corrosion on the battery. And we can't take the Wii wheel because we don't take these versions of the Wii wheel anymore. I'm like, whatever. Okay, it's like a $3. So I'm like, okay, well, do you want to do it in-store or, and I had this idea before I went in there to do this, but they were like, do you want to do this in-store or do you want to do it cash? I said, well, I'll do it in-store. And they were like, okay, well, do you want to spend it on something today? I said, well, I've been wanting a 3DS. Here's where the story gets crazy. So, Let me drink some water. Let me drink some water. So, well, I just dropped everyone. Alright. I just dropped YouTube on the floor. How do you feel? So, this is where the story gets crazy. So, I get a 3DS, and it's the smaller version, the original one that came out. It was like $150 something. And I get it, and in the mall, if you go from GameStop, it's like 500 feet to walk to Regal back and, well, for one way. So I walked down to Regal, I'm like, hey, I got 3DS, yada, yada, yada. I didn't work that night. So I was like, hey, I got 3DS, yada, 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 look at it. Well, did you get games? No, I didn't get games yet. Okay, so I go back to GameStop, and I get 2 games. I got Pokemon X, and I got Mario Kart 7, because I don't think they had 8. But I got 7. I might take it back and get 8 at one point in time. So I got those 2 games. And then I played Mario Kart 7, Mario Kart 7 for a while. And I tried to play X. And Pokemon X was brand new out of the package. 7 was used. Because they didn't have X used. They had brand new. So I played 7 for a while. Tried to play X. It said you need an SD card. Which I have an 8 gig SD card from my fucking Wii. Thank God I kept that. But it was at the house, so I didn't have it with me. So, I was like, okay, well, I can't play Pokemon X yet, so I'm going to play more Mario Kart 7. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to charge it. So I get in this package, and it's pretty nice, you get a charger, of course, the 3DS. You get headphones. You get 2 screen protectors, and you get a screen cloth, which is cool, I guess. Damn, this video's 17 minutes long. So, I'm going to try to wrap this up. So, I try to charge it, and it's working fine for a minute, and then I move it, and the cable won't stay in the port to charge it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, I'm wiggling it, seeing if I don't have it in there all the way, and I do. And so I take it back. I walk back up there, and I take it back, and I was like, hey, this thing won't charge right. You can test it. I don't really care. If I'm doing something wrong, show me, but whatever. And he's like, well, if we take it back, what do you want to do? I said, well, I want to upsize it to the extra large, the big one, the XL. And they're like, okay, well, it's $20 more. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I take it back, and the old one was black, and it had like this gray, like fading look to it, which was kind of cool. And but it was smaller, and it was square. So I took it back, and I got a black 3DS. And I love this thing. I still kept the what am I trying to say? I still kept the 3D, but I still kept the what am I trying to say? I still kept the. I'll put you guys on top of hangers right now. I still kept the Mario Kart 7 and the Pokemon X. And this time, they gave me a different charger, but it was it was shorter, but had 2 wire ends. So I got this one, I plugged it up, it worked fine, looks great. It's a little bit lighter, just a little bit, but it's bigger. And I like where everything is, because the pin on the 3DS, the regular one, was like on the top and the back. And I was like, okay, well, this is stupid. This one, it's like on the side, like right there. I'm like, okay, that's cool. What else? They changed, like, if the buttons feel better, just a little bit better. And of course the screen's fucking bigger too. So that's my story about the 3DS. So yeah, 20 minutes long. Holy fuck. So yeah, that's what's been happening the past, I think, maybe 4 or 5 days. So I'm gonna try to turn this off. I gotta go check the mail. If I have what I think is in the mail, I'm gonna make another video, and it's not gonna be as long. Make another video and upload it, and it's going to be me trying this thing I got from Japan. So, remember, like, comment, favorite, subscribe. Go to Bmp-man's Facebook page. There's going to be a link down below in the description. Yeah. So, if anything happens with the jobs, I'll update you. If I get the Dave & Buster's ones, I'll update you. If I get the manager position, I'll update you. If someone dies, I'll update you. If whores. Alright. Do those things. Do it. You don't really have to favorite, but do those things. Bye. Button is... Yeah. I didn't press it.